Okay, in the second part, we are going to do a reading. Okay, remember that in the first one we did a listening. Okay, this is a reading. So we are going to read an article that is called "What Are Core Values?" Okay, in this case, it's the lesson of the video is called "Describe the values you live by." So we're going to read this. You have the audio. Okay, you're going to read and listen to this. Okay, and then we are going to do activities related with this. Okay, so here we go.
A life worth living. The values that guide you. Most of us want to achieve some kind of happiness in our lives. After all, when's the last time you heard someone say, "I want to have an unhappy life"? However, we all have different ideas about what happiness means and how to achieve it. Some think one can achieve happiness by striking it rich. For others, happiness is the satisfaction of a selfless life, perhaps even lived in poverty, dedicated to helping others in need. The truth is, we make choices every day, but not all of them reflect our own most deeply held values, those things that are most important to us. In fact, regularly considering those values in the daily decisions we make may be the secret to our emotional well-being and to happier, more fulfilling lives. A number of celebrities commit their time to supporting humanitarian causes in order to make the world a better place. They may become activists against poverty or discrimination. Some use their fame to call attention to their causes and attract donors. Others choose to do their work quietly and privately, a decision driven by principles such as humility, choosing not to seek special attention for themselves. In most cases, they have identified their own values and used them to guide their decisions and actions. Similarly, some individuals who are financially secure live by their values through their philanthropy, and they donate large sums of money to charitable causes such as building hospitals and supporting education or the arts. Do you know what your core values are? They don't necessarily need to be about ethical or moral behavior, though they can be. Your core values are the principles that are most important to you in your life. For example, many of us would say family is fundamental to our identity, our sense of self. If your family is a first priority for you, then family is probably one of your core values. Perhaps you live that value by putting family before career, by turning down an exciting new position in another city or country because you think the move would be too difficult for the people you love. Like most people, you probably have about 5 or so core values that paint a picture of the person you are or want to be. Yet how you choose to live by those values is unique to you. For example, even though we may share the same value with someone else, such as fairness, the way we apply it will differ from person to person. The first step to a life that has direction and meaning is to ask yourself, what do I want more of in my life? Then make a list of values that are important to you. Out of that list, identify about 5 core values, the ones that you see as your top priorities, the ones that will serve as guidelines for living the life you want. Write those core values down and keep them in a place where you can easily find them. Whenever you have an important decision to make, you can consult your list of core values. Ask yourself, what choice can I make that will most closely align with the values I hold dear? Then at the end of the year, bring out your core values list to consider whether you've successfully applied those values throughout the year and whether doing so has contributed to your happiness. Living by your core values can be hard work, but it's worth it.
Great. Okay, so let's see. Classify words. Okay, cross out the words or phrase that doesn't belong in a group. Okay, you can explain your answers based on how the words are used in the article. So let's see, which one of these is not part of it? Cross out decisions. Values, guidelines, and principles are concepts that we live by or that affect our decisions, which are actions that we can take. Humility, happiness, satisfaction, and emotional well-being are all the states of what people want to achieve. Okay, these are happy things. However, humility is how one behaves. And cross out unique, okay? Important, core, and top priority are all related to the importance something can be unique without being important. All these are interesting and useful vocabulary that you have to write down. And finally, understand from context. Complete each statement to define these phrases and expressions from the article. Okay, so here we have some A, B, C, D, E, and F, and you have to put them here. Okay, so for example, if your choices are driven by your core values, okay, and you have to choose one of these. Okay, so write this down in your copybook, and now we are going to answer to all of this. So if your choices are driven by your core values, you think about your principles before taking actions. This is an important topic. I mean, this unit is kind of important, relating with values, okay, and way of living. If you try to help people through philanthropy, you do what you can offer, what you can to offer financial support to individuals or organizations. If you become an activist to support a humanitarian cause, you commit to making the world a better place. If you put your career before family, you make your work your top priority. If you paint a picture of the person you want to be, you imagine how you would act if you lived by your principles. And 6, if your life has directions and meaning, you feel satisfied with the way you do things. Okay? Excellent. Cool. This is the last lesson, right? You are going to be given for this occasion a piece of homework that is the revision of the unit, okay? And next week you are going to be given a test, okay? So for this lesson, revision of the unit, okay, building character, and I will also upload an audio, okay, a listening piece, or a piece of listening, okay, sorry, so because you have to listen, okay, to answer part of the homework this week, okay? Good. Okay, if you have any questions, remember, you have to let me know.